All right. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for sticking out through the short break. We are playing Steelio Grixis here. So we've got 4 Claim the Firstborn as well as 4 Act of Treason here. And then past those, we've got a bunch of different ways to sacrifice our opponent's creatures. We've got Priest of the Forgotten Gods as well as Rankle. And then we're also going just like full Wicked Witch and like baking people into pies here. So lots of good ways to take stuff away. We've also just got Chandra because she's good with Mayhem Devil and Priest. And then Cauldron Familiar can eat the food from the Witch's Oven in order to be another recursive card that's good with Priest. We have Priest and Rankle here to trigger Improbable Alliance. I'm not unconvinced that this deck is not just Grixis, so it can be called Steelio Grixis, because I'm not really sure that splashing blue for this card is reasonable. It does give us Disdainful Stroke out of the sideboard, which Disdainful Stroke is a very good card in general in this format, so we get that upside at least, but I'm willing to bet if we were looking at this from the sake of trying to optimize it competitively with this theme, we probably don't want blue, but for the sake of memes, we're gonna go ahead and submit it as is. Can you articulate yourself, Yang Mi, as why you feel that is, instead of just taking a dump on the thing that someone has submitted? So, constructive criticism is always welcome here. Needless bashing is not, though. So just saying deck's bad or deck has bad matchup here or there without helping the person who submitted understand why you feel that way is not welcome. Sand doesn't really do anything, right? That's fine. Well, let's try it. Got these two together are pretty good, right? Guild Globe is basically a redraw. Alright, I think I'm going to lead on Fabled Passage here for a swamp, so that way I can go Steam Vents Mayhem Devil on 2. Yeah, Claim the Firstborn's very good. We played a straight Aristocrats build with 4 of that in the main deck. It's very powerful. You can Veil of Summer a Stifle. Ha! That's funny. No, wait. Veil of Summer says your things can't be countered, right? Is that right? I don't know the wording on Veil of Summer at the moment. That sounds like that might be correct. Robo Snake Ape, thanks for encouraging good discourse on magic and politics. You talk when informed and are transparent when you lack knowledge on a subject, which I appreciate hearing. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Oh, is it spells can't be countered? It does say spells can't be countered. Okay, so that should not impact your triggers. Sure. Oh, Moto, you spaghetti mess, you. Earth, Weed, and Fire, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. There's a lot of great people you can ship that to every single month. Thanks for shipping it this way this month. Well, speaking of Golos, is this a Golos deck? It's a ramp deck at the very least. Feels Golosy. You cannot Veil a Gust. You'll draw a card, but it doesn't impact the Gust. M. Shemp, thanks to the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent Wednesday. I got my appendix removed, but your stream is here to keep me entertained. Hope you have a swift recovery, Vernash. Thanks for the continued Prime support. All of these passages deal damage with Mayhem Devil out, so that's fun. This also deals the damage with Mayhem Devil out, which is kind of fun. That's a good observation, Rufio. You can veil it if it's targeting a permanent in play. Just not on the stack. It's good distinction. I think I'm gonna make us both discard here. And I'm gonna make us draw 2. My hand's kind of medium. I don't know, maybe they want to draw a card. Maybe they didn't really care about Rankle's trigger. Ooh, that's a good one. They could start making zombies as early as next turn, right? I adjusted this. I put in black castles. I don't know if I like cutting mana. I actually liked where your mana was at without cutting dual lands. They could have also forgot Rankle had text. That's true. Claim the Firstborn would be a good draw. Chandra's not bad. So I get to do this. Maybe I'm supposed to Chandra here. Maybe Chandraing there is right. Yeah, the globe provides better fixing though, so I thought about Golden Egg, but I like the fact that the globe can like fix a completely jacked up mana turn, which is nice because it makes 2 colors. Well then. I'm just hitting you for 3 and passing. Land here will be absurd. Unfortunately, this attack means they're about to time wipe us. All right, it's a pretty good one. All things considered. I'm gonna have another sweeper. We're in a pretty good spot for next turn. We have a stuck audio sound in the background, it sounds like. What a wonderful release-ready product. Alright, the fact that they're cracking this fetch here hopefully implies that they're not about to sweep the board. I subscribed for the release ready emote. I do need to get one of those done up. So, they're similar to most other modern deck Scholar, but they're way more resilient to hate, is what it comes down to. Hey, Chaos Demon, thank you for the 3 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, one Claim the Firstborn, please. Witch's Oven. Alright, so I'm doing this to start.
Chandra, you need more control. Hey, these little guys are great.
Alright, so it's gonna do another one here. Blood Crypt is probably not gonna get there, huh? Priest is still bugged. So I can do this. I can sacrifice this food, which does another damage. So I'm going up to 16 here. I think I just send all of these upstairs because I'm not quite dead because I can block, right? The priest bug is if you target both players with priest trigger, you don't both sacrifice creatures. Only one player sacrifices a creature. So it's a corner case bug, but it still doesn't work fully as it should. Welcome back, Holy Flab. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, Chandra's dead. We're down to 8.
Training is so hard.
Yeah, I agree. It should definitely be fixed. Alright, so we're looking to draw a creature here or another Chandra. Another Chandra's lethal at the moment. I mean, issues still happen, EHNU, and like, I'd be surprised if it's a super hard issue to fix, but I also am not surprised that it didn't get caught right away, because it's super corner case. Yeah, Act of Treason and Claim the Firstborn both do it as well. Trey Plays Games, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can chip that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it my way this month. We got a number of live draws here. How about land? Is land a live draw? Is land a live draw? So, Improbable Alliance is really bad here. Disdainful Stroke is really good. I don't think this is a Noxious Grasp matchup. It's going to trim a Guild Globe as the other one. God, the sound effect is still going. Is it done? Okay, it finished when we clicked done. I mean, I would assume the massive memory leak is not easy to fix. If the memory leak that causes everyone to have to restart after every 2 to 3 matches was easy to fix, they would be addressed by now. That's the largest issue with this client at the moment, right? You showed up in the Modern 5.0 with your Gristlebrand deck. Yeah, deck's great. Modern's a fair, reasonable format. You know, it's honestly impressive. I didn't think Wizards could make Modern worse than when Hogak was legal, but gosh darn if they didn't prove me wrong right away. Yeah, chasing down upstream issues is real tedious a lot of the time. Stupid game. I can just picture Watsy having one guy for Moto and MTGA, and every morning they fill up his coffee cup and ask him, what are you going to fix their head today? I mean, they definitely have teams of people.
Don't worry, I brought company.
What's the current flavor of terrible? Emery finally broke Emery finally broke, what's it called in the format? It finally broke, Mox Amber, yeah. We knew it would happen every once in a while, but Mox Amber, I think Mox Amber is a bigger problem than Neobrand. Neobrand's like fine, it should be banned too, but like, all right, so we're hoping to draw an untapped land here, so we can Rankle, claim the Grazer, and then sacrifice.
I'll protect you.
It's not strictly better. I'm gonna keep putting counters on this.
Do this together.
Let's hit Teferi. Yeah, I agree, Pudgeons. Expecting Modern to change from what it's fundamentally been for the better part of the last few years is just like a recipe for disappointment.
That's more like it.
Any wish list for cards to include or not to include? Yeah, there's a bunch of Eldritch Moon cards I really hope they include. Tireless Tracker, the different emerge creatures, Bant Tameo. I think all those cards are really sweet.
Responsibility. Here we go.
All right, well, this lets me do this plus Rankle to kill their Teferi here, so that's nice.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Maybe WotC wants to put all their hopes and dreams in Historic. Here's a hot take, and this is something we've talked about before too. When I talk about not enjoying Modern how it is now, that's my personal takeaway on it, right? Like, Modern is the most popular competitive format that Magic has ever had. So, like, there are plenty of people who like Modern just being this pit of people racing linear decks against each other. And that's okay, right? Like, different strokes for different folks. Not everybody has to enjoy the things that I enjoy. Nice, Tim. Like, people always talk about, you know, how do we fix Modern? The idea that Modern's broken, I think, is silly. Alright. Let's discard and sacrifice creatures. I don't think I want to draw here. So the reason why I didn't act the Golos, even though it pushed more damage, because this line allows me to hold up Disdainful Stroke. Hey, look, we traded my land for a time wipe. God bless. I play Modern in large part because it is a non-rotating. Standard is fun, but yeah, I agree, Snugglebear. And I think Historic is well poised to be wildly popular for that reason. I think there's a lot of people who don't care for the gameplay that Modern produces, but also just have no desire to keep up with Standard. Which is why I was not surprised when, like, my sub-survey basically said, yeah, let's play some Historic. Well, Frontier's different, and people pretending Frontier's not fundamentally different than Historic are kidding themselves. Frontier never had any official support. What Historic was created because a game store in Japan had card stock that was worthless to them, so they invented a format to make cards valuable, which was a really smart business decision on their part. But that's what it was. If streaming Magic was not your career, do you think you'd spend the same amount of money on Arena? I don't know if I'd have a complete collection, but yeah, I'd have whatever cards I wanted to play with. Like the Mythgard game I've been playing, for example, that like Mythgard's never going to be popular enough to be my career by any means. That game I've put, I don't know, probably $200 or $300 into at this point just because I want to play it. Why not sack Rankle so they can't draw a card? Because I don't really care if they draw a card. Is that, did I miss lethal? Oh, Rankle draw recast cat. I did miss lethal. That's fine. God, what is that sound effect that keeps getting stuck? It's fine, chat. We're taking the scenic route to lethal. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, honestly, Quintivus, I'm worried that Blizzard, someone just said Blizzard. I'm worried that Wizards had intended to support Historic, and that's why they were doing the double wild card, and now that they were publicly shamed into rolling back the double wild card, that they can't really support the format because it won't be profitable for them anymore. I think there's a very real chance that we got thoroughly monkey pawed by the community on that. And obviously we can't know for sure, but I just think with the way Modern went and how popular it was, I think they'd be kind of crazy to support Historic at the same level, knowing that it's going to eat into Standard. I mean, Historic's still going to see play regardless. Like, Wizards can't stop you from playing with your cards how you want to play with them. Although, I guess they could technically stop you from playing with them how you want to play with them on Arena, so that's not strictly true. Priest flooded, never. Chandra was a very good draw. I'm not attacking with this because I want to activate it in the event that they play a sweeper. Now, Watsy's fault for not being upfront about their... I mean, never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by incompetence. So, like, assuming that there was some big conspiracy on Wizards' part to, like, get one over on you, when, like, the reality of the situation is they probably just literally hadn't made a plan yet, is silly.
I'm happy as a hellion to start some fires. Oh, they're so cute.
I hope the person who was like, this deck's bad against Golos when we started is still watching. Hope they're still here. I think these Priests of the Forgotten Gods aggro decks tend to be good in this matchup. The priest decks are basically like, you need to answer this priest or you're going to die. And they frequently can't answer the priest. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree, babe. But I mean, like, Underplix, you're like saying making mistakes. They just didn't announce it in a timeline where you announced it. So, like, you're saying WotC made a mistake when people just made a bunch of assumptions. So, like, as someone who's, like, the first person to call a spade and be like, WotC messed up, like, in this situation, I think it's really unfair to say that they messed up. I think a bunch of people had formulated things in their head based on things that were never said, and then when the announcement wasn't exactly what they did, so here's the thing though, Jimmy. Supporting a format and making it cheap are not the same thing. In my opinion, the people who, like, the same company that let Scalding Tarn be $100 card wanted to make Historic more expensive. Like, the people who are coming from other card games who are like, if Historic's expensive, it wouldn't succeed. Like, those people are idiots. We literally have a fantastic example of that really not being the case. Like, a format in Magic is not required to be cheap to be successful. Mox Opal's $130. Modern's the most popular competitive format Magic has ever had. But again, like, it's 2019, so people, like, speak with their feelings as opposed to, like, looking at what actual data says is true, because that's just how people work today. Hey, thanks for the tier 2 resub, JMK. I appreciate that. Sure, take a peek at the deck queue and let me know what you'd like to see and when. The problem with Heartfire is that it's kind of expensive. Historic is too expensive, I say, as I'm shuffling my $1,500 deck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Standard was super successful when there were really expensive decks in it. But you can't justify an arbitrary cost in wild cards. So this is where your logic is bad. Paper Magic cards get expensive over time. Guess what? Just like Wizards was able to dictate what wild cards cost, Wizards dictates the whole economy. The entire paper economy is arbitrary. If Wizards of the Coast wanted modern decks to cost the same as standard decks, they could do that. They can print whatever flipping Magic cards they want. And if you don't understand that, you're so unbelievably stupid, it's just unfathomable to me. Like, I just don't get it. I just can't understand at all how people can't make that connection. Yeah, they could print Power 9 like they print Stormcrows if they wanted to. People are like, well, it's the secondary market. Wizards controls the entire secondary market. It's called artificial scarcity. It does make sense for them to printing boxes if they want to, if they saw it as profitable. But Wizards views it as more profitable to make non-rotating formats expensive. If they wanted to make prints, Wizards could literally pull up TCG Player and print a set that's just every card that costs more than $50. They could do that. That's something they could do. But they don't want to do that because Wizards, someone in a suit at Wizards of the Coast has determined that those cards being more expensive is more profitable for them. That's the truth. What about the reserve list? I'm not going to get into the details on the reserve list. There are plenty of ways they could work around that if they wanted to. I think that WotC set the standard when they first rolled out that a wildcard did and how you could trade them in. That was the reason. No, they didn't, though. They didn't. And the game was still in beta. Games in beta make changes all the time. All I'm saying is I'm gonna be done ranting about this for now. But just the last statement is that it's just people are just so unfathomably stupid. I can't. I'm dead. I'm broken. People. This I've reformulated my thought. I understand people wanted it to be cheaper, but I also think that the people who acted like there was no precedent for it to be more expensive are so ignorant of the actual information around them that it's unreal. There were people who were acting like this was unprecedented, and it was like, it's just like, it wasn't though. It wasn't though. And I'm just sad at the end of the day because they rolled that back, it very likely means we're gonna get less historic support. That's the truth. If they can't monetize it well, they're not gonna support it. They're a for-profit company. It's just how this works. Oh no! Oh no, I friendly fired Mr. Maple Syrup. And it makes me sad because I really want good historic support. But we likely got Monkey's Pawed out of that. Well, at this point, I also point out that I also hope artificial scarcity for shop owners is cards with partners, not just WotC, but you probably... Here's a hot take. Anybody who tells you that magic shops want individual singles to be expensive is a flipping idiot. You talk to any good business person, good business people, good shop owners, they don't want to sell $100 Scalding Tarn. They want to sell $25 cards. You don't make money in a business by expensive cards sitting in your case. You make money in your business by turnover, and it's harder to turn over more individually expensive products. High inventory cost is bad. I think I just do nothing here. Maybe I make them discard a card. I don't really need another land, right? Yeah, let's both discard. Their hand is all spells because they missed a land drop last turn. A fast nickel will always beat a slow dime. Yep. We had some bits in there. I missed it. You're awesome, Jeff. Thank you. Thanks for the biddy, Scholar. You're pretty good too. There's a $12 tip. Whoop. Before we go to my turn, let's eat the cat, bake the cat, and get it back. Can you add this to the Mardu Shadow list in Modern? Will do. Thanks for keeping me around. Killer Bunny, thanks for the quarter of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, well, now we're just playing this, right? And then we'll hit them and make them discard. I feel like I learn more about business, hear about business I do in business class. MTG has taught me one thing is a lot of people don't understand simple supply and demand. Yeah. Is it crazy to draw cards at this point? Their hand's kind of bad, so maybe it is. Their hand might be good, though. Yeah, I'm going to discard and draw here. I think I want to hit another thing so I can start using the Priest. Sir McLoser, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. What are your thoughts on Corvald, Fakers, King, and Jund Aristocrat Shell? Is that the Jund creature? I don't know. It doesn't seem very good. They did bin a Grixis, yeah. I don't know. A card seems slow and expensive, Flab. Yeah, the ovens are not accomplishing a lot at the moment. We really need like a Chandra, right? I guess the ovens are draining them for 1 every turn at the moment, which is not nothing. It's not nothing. I think there's a good chance he's too slow. Is that a good draw, chat? What do we think about that draw? I think I'm activating Priest here rather than using this. Why no? Oh, I didn't discard because I wasn't paying attention. Because I'm reading chat and talking. The discard was free, that is correct. Claim is very, very good. Been really happy with 4 of those in our traditional Aristocrats build. They are in fact dead on board. But this deck's bad against Golos. Hey, Virtuous, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate it, Sir McLoser. Good to have you here. Reminder to new subs and existing subs, by the way. If you're someone that enjoys talking about stuff and you want to talk about stuff even when I'm not live, be sure to pop on into the subscriber Discord server. Thanks for lots of channels in there to talk about lots of things. When you join the server, I definitely recommend taking 2 minutes to look over all the channels and mute the ones that aren't of interest to you. How are they dead? You sack Rankle to the oven to make a food. Priest triggering Alliance is interesting. We haven't gotten to do that yet. That is an excellent draw. Kibler pulled out of casting Hearthstone for Blizzard. Wow. That's huge. That's good on him for putting his money where his mouth is. Thank you for the 13 months, Rekindled Soul. I appreciate that. Alright, they're gonna cast Cry of the Canarium next turn. I'm just gonna, like, weep silently. But here we go. Hopefully they play a creature that we can claim. That would be the perfect. Woohoo! Oh, buddy old pal. This is not fair. I would like this one. Yeah, I agree, Percy. I like Ben. The stuff Ben puts out there is just so good. He's a very grounded individual from my interactions with him. Huh. You know, we had been talking about what are other Alliance payoffs that we could play in Grixis decks. Tombbound Lich was not a card I considered. This might be a card that test in, like, having a little bit of a lifelink is good too. And the fact that Lightning Strike's no longer legal makes this card better against aggro. Alright, so I think we're just Chandra because it lets me trigger Priest. Playing Chandra is also better against the sweeper here. The fact that Chandra flashes back the threaten effects is also great. We could get Dino'd next turn though, huh? Ooh, buddy old pal. Oh, buddy old pal. Rid. At least that came late enough that we're otherwise set up here. Yeah, you can sack things to oven. That's the idea. We're basically the Wicked Witch. We're claiming their firstborn and then baking them into pies. They appear to be playing a Grixis Reanimator deck. Although at the moment they appear to just be dying. Aggro. So this attack technically leaves them not dead on board, right? They can kill this, this, and this.
Training is so hard.
We actually played against the Mono Blue Mill deck earlier today, yeah. Alright, so Disdainful Stroke is great. Is it crazy? Is it crazy to trim the claims in this matchup? Alliance is probably not great. And then, like, they had the smaller creature, but I don't think they have that many little creatures in their deck, right? If I had to venture a guess. I think I'm going to cut the alliances and the claim for these strokes. I think Act of Treason is better here with their bigger threats. You're also allowed to give your priest haste. Yeah, that's great. It's very good. And we were playing the traditional Aristocrats build with 4 claims, like 1 red, give my priest haste, something that came up a lot of the time. Very slick line. I was wondering why people are suddenly talking about Star Wars, and I noticed my opponent's username is Sith Jedi. It's like, oh, that would explain it. Can we make a donation goal to force you to watch all of the Star Wars? I don't know about that. That's a lot of time. It's a big commitment. Sand's missing a second Black Source, but the spells are pretty reasonable, so I guess I'm keeping. As someone who was an adolescent in the 90s, yeah, I read the Harry Potter books as a child. That is part of my generation. Is Biogenic super strong? Why is that? Feels like a kind of mid-rangey threat that gets gone over the top of by Golos. Are you ready for Supernatural Season 15? You know I am. Has my wife seen the Star Wars movies? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm fairly young. We have an Agent of Treachery here. Reanimate spells cost 5 though, except for the one that requires them a creature to sacrifice. Supernatural's coming back. It never left, chat. Supernatural's heading to their 15th season. They've been going every year for a while now. Hey, Deathrite Shaman. Thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, I can only imagine what the internet has done with the search result Blizzard logo. Can only imagine. All right, so are they dead? This is 1. This is 2, 3. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm 2 short at the moment. Yeah, Oven plus Cat is currently at 3 a turn. Oh, I forgot about one from the food. So they're very, very close to dead. This is the current top image for Blizzard. Freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. That's... You know, sometimes the internet's horrible, but other times they come together and do truly wonderful things to terrible companies. Pretty good. Pretty good. Baking their stuff into pies is good. Feels sweet. I like how you went for the cat murder rather than the attack. My PR professor completely changed today's lecture to talk about the Blizzard situation and if we were their PR rep, how we handle it. I've been watching VODs, and there was a people just don't understand how much $1 billion is, and a political argument, and the best thing you do to drive the point home is you can work 500 years at $5,000 a day and not have $1 billion. Yeah. Yeah. People are really bad at numbers. One of the things that stuck out to me when I was teaching at a university is just how bad people were at putting numbers into context. So one of the classes I taught, we literally covered calculating simple interest in the class. And a lot of the students were incapable of understanding when the calculator gave them bad numbers. So like, say the problem was calculate 5% interest on, you know, say $1,000 and they key it in wrong and it tells them 5% interest is $5,000 and they would just write down $5,000 and just like not understand that like that number doesn't make sense in the context of the problem that they're working on. Man, if we had an untapped land tier, we would just end their entire career, huh? Dread Electo, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate the 2/3 of a year. I can't act. This is tapped. If I could play Act of Treason, we would slaughter them, right? We would take this, kill this, make them sacrifice. And like, this is like, because we're playing a 3-color deck, I guess the 2-color deck would probably have Fabled Passage in it too. It's like tough to, I think I just let this happen. I teach any economics courses. I did not. Mostly just math classes. Yeah, I think we're just dead at this point. So like this tap land was the difference between like them not being able to win the game and us not being able to win the game. We could have killed Domri. Instead of saying that, tell me how I would kill Domri there. So how do I kill Domri? What's the line? Alright, untapped land for Rankle could go a long way here. Someone did link that in here. And good on him. It might be right to discard here. I don't know. It could go either way. Just to like try and run them out of resources. Alright, we're dead. Yeah, missing the third untapped land there was the entire game. Kind of unfortunate. Would have been a sweet turn for us otherwise. Oh. Yeah, the blue cards in here are just too cute. Definitely feels like we're just like Grixis to say we're Grixis. Stand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. No, I don't feel the need to address people's inability to do order of operations correctly. The Cauldron Familiar actually makes this hand really good, right? So this play is incredibly bad for my opponent, because now they lose their Bone Crusher Giant, and I was gonna do this anyways. Because remember, you only get the adventure if your card resolves. if you're someone that hadn't been keeping up on, if you're someone who hadn't been keeping up on the Blizzard China stuff, remember that if you don't like what Blizzard did, the only way for you to speak is with your time and your money. Blizzard made the decision they made because they think it's more profitable for them to pander to China than it is for them to do the right thing. So, you should stop playing their games and you should definitely stop giving them money if you're not okay with what they did. Mayhem Devil, yeah, Oven Cat Devil is very, very good. I threw the cat in the oven into the Blackwood Aristocrats back and it's been forming. Yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like the whole deck kind of changes. Like, it's definitely good, but I also feel like the deck kind of changes. I think I lead on this. If they Lava Coil this, I'm kind of sad, but they Lava Coil this, I'm also glad they're not Lava Coiling this, so leading here is definitely correct. You have shocked the pretty kitty. The way we had pauses there, they definitely have a second shock or a Veil of Summer. Yep. Wonder if I was supposed to just like play Witch's Oven there. I've got candy, Spellbreaker. It's yummy. I keep the candy in the oven, though, Spellbreakers. You just gotta go on in and get the candy yourself. Oh, I locked the door behind you. Whoops. Whoopsie. That got dark. Sorry. Listen, that's what's currently happening. Some of you at home might not want to think about it, but that's what's happened to that Spellbreaker. Okay, it wasn't a good scene for our friend the Spellbreaker. I love that the Witch's Oven pumps out pie tokens too. That's friendo. The cat came back the very next day. Oh, the cat came back the very next day. Oh, they thought he was a goner, but he just couldn't stay away, away, away. Hey, hey, hey. What do you think elemental pie tastes like? I feel like that's an important question. Spicy apple pie. Okay, that makes sense. Tastes like fire. Man, the core of this deck actually seems super reasonable. Like, I don't know that 4 Act of Treasons is the correct number, but honestly, more than 0 is probably correct. I also think the blue cards are some hot nonsense and we should cut them. But I've liked what this is doing. Yeah, I feel like it's probably like cut the alliances, cut 2 of the Act of Treasons. Honestly, that gives us 4 slots. We could just play the Stormfist Crusaders in the main deck. We have played the ladder since Saturday. We went 3-0 on the ladder yesterday morning, and I went 3-1 on the ladder off stream last night. That's true. Stroke was very good. Maybe the blue splash for Stroke is just worth it. I would test that, but I don't think the alliances are good. Pretty confident the alliances are bad. Nice, Gunno. Yep. Meow. I'll bottom that. It's a black source that doesn't hurt me, which is kind of appealing, but... yeah, I just think this many Axe main deck is too many. I think there's too many situations where it's just not meaningful. Yeah, that's true. Globe is largely unnecessary, I think is accurate. I think that's an accurate statement. Next turn's gonna be a good one, chat. Hey, thanks for the third of a year, Pelly. It's been good to have you around. And then a cat gets to block next turn too, which is sweet. It's gonna gain 2 here. So they're gonna sack this in response, but I played this first because them sacking this means I get to deal a damage to them. Feels like this game's pretty over at this point. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Mary Squirrel. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, nice Hathorn. Yeah, the teamer deck's great. I'm genuinely gonna be pretty surprised if that deck doesn't break out. The deck is just super powerful. I don't think this sideboard really has good cards for the aggro matchup. I got a couple of Lava Coils. Seems reasonable. The defense against aggro decks is basically the cat in the oven. Yeah, not everything always comes together though. Yeah, the blue splash has not been good. It's $10 for subscribers to add standard decks to the queue. Because Globe double filters. Although I guess it doesn't make 2 of the same color. Yeah, Globe should definitely just be the egg. But the Globe, they probably just shouldn't have that in general in this deck. Because if we cut the splash, we don't need the extra fixing. So I'll draft up what I would have this look like after we're done here today for sure. So this will be if we win this match, it'll be the last one because it'll be 5-0 in this set. And this is where the blue hurts too, right? Like, if we're playing a 2-color deck, this is a basic mountain. And like, having an untapped land that doesn't hurt us would be really valuable in a matchup like this. All right. I've been calling your teamer deck Oko and the Boys. Oko and the Gang's probably a better descriptor. Huh? I think I just Lava Coil this to keep them from. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, I'm so dumb. They're gonna draw a land and play this. I thought this was, I should have moused over. I thought that was Skewer. All right, they didn't draw a land, so it doesn't really matter. Hey, Zero, thanks for the 10 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. There's no justice here, chat. That is very, very true. Hey, Flab, thanks for the tip. Fantastic. I'll get that added after we're done today. All right, it's a little lackluster at the end there, but we got ourselves 60 gems and an extra 1,100 gold, so that's nice. I'm already back up to almost 40,000 gold after that. Look at chat, the vault. Ooh, sadness. Anybody else remember when the vault was a temporary solution that they were eventually going to get rid of? And now we're released. And now we're released. All right, so ignoring the mana for a second, I feel like I would get rid of the blue, and I would cut the globes in the Alliance, and probably at least 2 Act of Treason. And that gives me like 6 slots in the main. I feel like Stormfist Crusader is probably a card that I want. I think this seems reasonable. And then honestly, after that last deck we played, I wonder if, like, because this deck could trigger Alliance with some consistency, do I want to just play Ironcrag Pyromancer? I almost feel like this is not an unreasonable card to play. It's probably also just like, the answer is likely also, there's no Murderous Riders in here, so we could like play Riders. We could play Murderous Rider. You could play the Crushy guy, Bone Crusher. So like, could fill these out any way you want. Filling these 2 in here lets you fill out the food nicely. So, or let's fill out the food, fill out the curve nicely. It gives you 10 like 2 mana spells and 10 3 mana spells. So like, as far as curve is concerned, this looks really good. And honestly, if you cut the blue, you can probably cut a land. Just like drop down to 23 lands. Something like this is probably where I'd want to be. And then the extra Treasons were good against decks with bigger things, so I'd probably play the rest of those in the board. And then like, figure out what my sideboard slots look like. Like, if I don't have Riders in the main, putting Riders in the board is probably ideal, but this spell base with with 23 lands is probably where I would start. It felt really clean. Having not only Oven to synergize with Cauldron Familiar, but also with these type of effects, and then Chandra to flash these type of effects back felt very, very reasonable and consistent. How do you know how many lands to put in a deck? Based on what your curve is. So this deck mostly curves out at 3 with a few Rankles, so like 23 is plenty. Yeah, I think I'd keep 4 Rankle. Rankle's great. It's just like the ideal top end threat. Something like this would be good. Red-black Oven. Rankle's much better than Bantu. Bantu's a slow, clunky card. Rankle is a fast, aggressive card. Rankle, Bantu fell off hard. He falls off even more when you consider he gets OHKO'd. Alright, we're going to roll along to the next deck today. After a quick 5-0 with that, I'm interested to see how this Planeswalker-based Jeskai Fires deck go. Anybody who's been watching the stream knows I've been consistently underwhelmed by this card in Standard. We're going to go ahead and take a quick ad break here while I get things set up for the next deck. Thanks everybody for hanging out.